Everybody has a favorite hobby or leisure activity that they use to unwind and recharge, but not all hobbies are same, and certainly not all are inexpensive. Rich people must have their yachts, even though the majority of us would be satisfied with a weekend bike ride in the woods or a ski trip to Austria. Today, we'll talk about the 10 hobbies that only the wealthy can afford. Number 1. Polo. The royals enjoy the team sport of polo, which is played on horses. It should therefore come as no surprise that it is a costly hobby. For instance, the annual fee of a full membership at the Detroit Polo Club is $3,000. And that doesn't include the cost of purchasing a horse, which, according to the Boston Globe, may be as high as $250,000 for a polo pony. Number 2. Golfing. Anyone may play golf in their backyard, but the wealthiest golfers in the world go for the best courses to play on, and some are willing to spend a lot of money to do so. It will cost you a hefty amount to join some of the most exclusive clubs in the world. For instance, Trump National in Winchester charges a $30,000 to $50,000 joining fee. Number 3. Racing horses. It need not be expensive to visit a horse racing track and make a wager. However, it can be very expensive to breed, train, and compete with your own horses. HorseTrading.com estimates that a racehorse costs over $76,000 on average. When you factor in the cost of housing, feeding, and grooming, the cost of this hobby rises. According to NBC New York, training expenses at a mid to high-level racetrack can run between $30,000 and $50,000 a year. In 2017, there was a $25,000 entry fee for the Kentucky Derby. Number 4. Art purchasing. One of the most expensive hobbies is collecting pricey paintings. Pablo Picasso's masterwork, Les Femmes Mes Alger, which sold for $179 million to an unidentified bidder in 2015, and Paul Gauguin's When Will You Marry?, which sold to Qatar museums for $300 million the same year, are two of the more expensive works in the world. Sean Combs, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Madonna are just a handful of the celebrities who have impressive art collections, according to Money Insight.
Number 5. Sailing.
Sailing is another excellent sport that falls between unaffordable and highly unaffordable. Although sailing is a noble sport, owning a yacht and partying in the Caribbean with all the beautiful women dancing on the deck is more of a hobby than a sport, but it is still very expensive. You can rent small sailing ships, or you can buy big fancy yachts. Number 6. Global travel. The majority of individuals can afford a little break or holiday. However, not everyone has the means to travel and see the globe in comfort. A round-the-world journey may cost up to $1 million when all expenses, including first-class flights, excursions, and food, are taken into account.
Number 7. Collecting vintage cars.
Rare and vintage cars are frequently collected by members of the super rich. For instance, a vintage collectible might range in price. A Mercedes Formula One race car, for instance, might cost around $29.7 million. Number 8. Hunting. Since being in the woods is neither fancy nor expensive, hunting may appear to be a typical hobby, but nothing could be further from the truth. Hunting can become very expensive very quickly. The cost of owning a gun may already be high depending on the nation. Then, when you factor in the price of hunting taxes and expedition costs, your wallet will start to quickly run out of money. Additionally, the costs will soar to the heavens if one wishes to hunt more exotic game, such as big game in Africa. Number 9. Winemaking. Nearly every wealthy person in the world has experienced fine wines, but for some of them, that is not enough. Another habit of some of the richest people in the world is to grow a vineyard and make their own wine. Celebrity villas frequently have wine cellars and wineries, and it is undoubtedly not too difficult for them to produce their own wine. Number 10. Skiing. Although skiing has been practiced since prehistoric times, initially as a mode of transportation and later as a tool for military operations in cold weather, it has only recently evolved naturally into the sport and leisure activity that it is today. And today, skiing is a popular outdoor pastime for many people, particularly the world's rich and famous. That's all we have to share with you today, I believe. Thank you for watching.